I just I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. Like, the common retort is, okay, Red forgave them, so it's okay. When they did, in fact, try to manipulate the entire scene for Guilty Gear Strive. But that part is constantly left out of the translation in communicative notes of the situations of yesteryear. Like, I I don't know. I I know looking at this shot, Luca has just got to be like pissed inside. Look at them. Like, this is not an okay shot. Like, I can look at their face. They are super pissed off that they have to share the definitive top 3 position with the accuser. And this is the highlight of the community. This is it's such a bad look. Like, oh my gosh. Like, it just feels so wrong because of the accountability that just isn't here for the leaders in the scene to follow through on these community standards that are supposedly here and just aren't existent. Like, UMISHO and the accused in the same picture is just like one of the most disgusting sights I can see here. Not because she's transgender, but because she has a terrible track record as a human being. I can tell she's trying to do better, I guess, but consistency is key. Here, this is UMISHO. It's homie Luca. I am Red. And that's a new guy. New guy. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the family. So, looking back at the notes here, I'm trying to understand this because Mike Hollows did a documented a piece about this not that long ago in the same regards to the CEO turnup of UMISHO and how she technically should have already been out of the running to even compete or be eligible to register for an event like this by now, even though the community somehow just hasn't put its foot down. And I've been trying to figure this out for time immemorial, why this is the case. Because, like, there's a distinction here between, okay, the public controversy involving UMISHO and Red, but you can't completely say it's an established fact because of the falsely accusing them of sexual assault without qualification. Public records was changed. For those of you guys that remember the 2024 thing with Bunny, Technicals, I believe, said it best.
8 months ago, the professional Strive player UMISHO voluntarily stepped away from the community and received a ban from participation from a handful of organizations, like Paragon Online, SJS, and Railfire Legion. However, she was never officially banned by ArcSys, the publisher of Guilty Gear, and even Paragon Online only intended to uphold their ban for a total of 6 months, meaning that it would expire around April 14th of this year. In comparison, the pro player Tempest actually received an official ban from competition in September of last year after apologizing for sexual assault. Fast forward to April 9th, 2025, when UMISHO returned to social media to apologize to the community because it was never her intention to accuse Luca of sexual assault, and she couldn't fault anyone for interpreting it as such. Oh, while it's great that they decided to apologize, and seemingly have even made up with Luca in the process, this was not a matter of simple misinterpretation. In fact, you even at one point directly accused Luca of assaulting someone else, which I can only assume is Bunny in this context, because you mentioned them in the same sentence. But let's just pretend like I didn't instantly prove that you're lying with your own tweet. In the story you dropped in support of a sexual assault allegation, you said, "They tried to feel me up in a hotel room full of people before I asked them to stop. It took me asking 2 or 3 times before they begrudgingly agreed." This person is not just an idiot, this person is a manipulator, this person exhibits patterns of abusive behavior with no remorse or reflection. There are too many stories of them hurting people in just the past couple years.
The outline is, like, there's no general law saying, okay, if someone falsely accuses someone else, they are legally prohibited from entering tournaments or communities or these public spaces. Like if it were me and I hosted an event or whatnot, and I found out that there's people close by that are supposed to be playing here engaging in groping allegations or the R word or just fucking, then obviously I would be feeling a certain way, because I would feel like it would be a blatant disrespect to the proceedings going on here to have time to do that shit, but you can't just do what you came here to do. Yes, there's time for play when there's time for play, metaphorically, but literally is the actual core point in these things here. And to keep private matters out of the public eye, that way it doesn't just go deep, it doesn't just go into the scenes like it's just you're just airing out laundry into the street. Tournament participation is generally controlled by a lot of like private event organizers or tournament rules, a code of conduct, venue policies, and sanctioning bodies, supposedly. Like an organizer can choose to ban someone for conduct that violates its policies, even when that conduct doesn't result in criminal conviction. Even though, okay, I would like to think that accusing someone falsely of sexual assault without reasonable bounds, even though the messages, if I remember correctly from that case, were all consent, but misinterpreted badly by poor miscommunications by people involved and other parties involved that weren't even there. Like, the issue that's more relevant here is like, what standards should a tournament organizer use when deciding whether someone's conduct has broken the community's trust enough to warrant exclusion? That's what I would like to know, because like there's been people literally that have been banned for less shit than this. You have your infiltration case, you have your shin blade case, you have Mike Z case, you have F champ, Filipino champ. You have plenty of examples of people that probably could have just been muted or temporarily removed, but not full on banned and expelled from the community. This bitch is an example that needs to be here on this listing. Why are we keep making an exemption for this chick? Whose balls is she dangling? Whose balls is she dangling in order to be allowed to constantly keep entering these spaces? That's what I can't understand. The simplest answer like is because like there isn't currently a universal governing body enforcing a perma ban across every tournament. We're like, okay, banned by organizer A, banned by organizer B, then okay, maybe it might be sanctioned by a publisher or banned by organizer C. You see a trend going here, and then eventually allowed back elsewhere. Like they get banned out of the community, so they become another community's problem, i.e., some other asshole, like a Patarian incident, or Sora in one of his offline escapades that allowed him to get banned, and so he can't go anywhere. Like, it's one of the structural weaknesses of a decentralized grassroots FGC is like consistency in the imagery. Like, that's where the argument is about trust, and it's where it becomes stronger than the legal argument side of it. Like, if an organizer believes a player deliberately made a seriously damaging false accusation, they could reasonably decide, hey, regardless of whether criminal lawsuits apply or the police are involved, or however that would usually regard the removal of space of said person in Article A or subsection whatever the fuck, we don't believe this person meets our community standards for participation. But another organizer can make the opposite decision because we all have different standards. The result is exactly what you're noticing. The competitive ecosystem can remember the incident very differently depending upon which organization you're dealing with. The criteria here can probably also be the organization of the Guilty Gear community, or the Guilty Gear Strive community, or it could be the organization of I hate to say this shit. Okay, the organization of the FGC LGBT, where there are some cases where it looks like she's really just trying to weaponize her sexuality to get away with a lot of people that don't hold her to the same standard as everybody else. Like, I feel she's making this complex by chance. I feel she's making this complex by taking advantage of the confusion in communications, or honestly, there just is no reinforcement of consequence in holding people to the same standards set by and to others. Honestly, if the Arc World Tour from last year, a couple years back, just did their fucking job and put the ban on her, all of this could have been avoided, and it could have caused a proper chain reaction from the top down through all the communities in order to get this chick out of these communities once and for all. Instead of one person believes it, one person doesn't believe it, so, oh, that doesn't affect me here, so I'm not gonna ban her. But over here, yeah, it should. She's banned here. You should follow the same thing. But no, I don't want to do that, though. She's my friend. And we get along okay, and she talks really nice. I like how she sounds. She plays really amazing. See how it starts? If people aren't all on the same page trying to move forward with this shit, nothing ever gets done. Like, this proves that there are obvious double standards still, clearly. That Strive is just not a community. It's just a constant club. And having an identity or a label is your key card, basically. Like, there's always a bias for some type of unnecessary preferential treatment to a set amount of people that are allowed to this club. I'm not saying all of the strivers are like that. I'm not saying all of the Strive LGBT are like that, but I'm saying there is obviously a bias that is not being brought to light here. And a lot of you pussies in the Guilty Gear community for Strive don't speak up about this shit. What does she have on you that makes you quiet about this shit? But every time shit goes out right here on Twitter, airing out the laundry, it's like, oh, she doesn't want to play. Oh, she can't play. No, why are they allowing her to do all of this stuff? Let's look at the post activity. Tell me I'm wrong. Watch this. Okay. Little Ladle. Yeah, maybe the most molested oralist picture of the entire decade. Incredible how the FGC sucks right now. They stand up like no one, acting like nothing ever happened. Just so we're clear, UMISHO lied about being R-word in order to get another player banned from the scene and is allowed to compete despite committing this crime. Meanwhile, Infiltration, A, is banned for basically every event without any explanation as to why years later. Mike Hollows, this top 8 reminded me of this tweet, can't lie. Nice. That's a nice tweet out, actually. Actually, proper highlight of this, that way we're not totally talking about bullshit. That's actually a really good highlight. No, low-key. Perpetualo, the Bill of Player, LOL, Smash players in fighting games go crazy. Just found out where the goat went. What the fuck? Yeah. You know it stank in there. Like nothing ever happened. Should let it run be me. Smash players seeing the winner. No, everybody in the community is just totally just appalled by this. Here, there's gonna be some other point down the line. Honestly, I'm probably gonna talk about this again because this shit just really pisses me off. That the Guilty Gear community won't talk about their own problems in the constructive sense. As soon as shit goes south, you air this shit out into Twitter like laundry. But you can't do what other people do and just get them the fuck out of your scene. Other scenes I've been in and whatnot, when people at the top of the echelon do too much or become problem factors, the community can literally excommunicate their own people. Ask somebody out here in the Twitter vine. I guarantee you somebody will tell you a story where there was some wild shit that happened that didn't go down. Grand Blue, A, if you know, you know. DNF, if you know, you know. Dragon Ball Fighters, if you know, you know. Mortal Kombat, if you know, you know. But you guys listed down below on what you think could have happened here. Or are we still going to keep seeing this chick despite all these different things going on here? And is it really just a club at this point?